are here outside Sean Goddard Insects. Really excited to talk to Sean about his art, check out his studio. Knock, knock. How are you, Sean?
How are you?
Thank you so much for spending some time with me today and showing me your amazing studio. It's certainly filled with color and work right now. I was wondering if you could give me a little tour of some of the pieces and, you know, what they're based on as far as the insects and kind of the inspiration behind them.
Sounds good. Something like this over here, the thread wing, lace wing. Obviously a more delicate looking, well, someone might say prettier insect. And that's done in a type of glass that has a reflection quality, but also a really nice transmission. Can't really see it over there, that's why I moved it over here.
It really catches the light nicely, eh?
Yeah. It reflects some light and transmits it in a different way, though. So it'll shift and turn.
And what are they made out of? You said it's a special kind of glass, and then is it?
Well, the wing glass on that is a clear-based dichroic glass. So it's cut and kiln fired, and that shifts it to its final color, I guess you could say. It gets the most out of the glass. Curve these a little bit just for a look there, and then it's got some dichroic eyes as well, but they're in a dark, more like the beetles, which we'll get into.
Beautiful, man.
Most of everything else I have right now is beetles. Other than that, a variety from the ladybug to similar shape to the ladybug, but in a shine. More of that dichroics that has that reflection. And all of these different beetles are a mix of first fused glass work, where, say, whether it's a ladybug or this big banded alder borer beetle, where the white is glass that is fused on, in this case powder white glass fused onto that black sheet. In the second firing, I shape it over steel to give it curve, and then I do a whole bunch of metal work, primarily copper, for the structure and for the rest of the insect design, to try to capture details that you would see if you had the insect. Nothing microscopic, because nobody would recognize it, but the type of leg tapering and details on antenna and that you could capture as best I can. So something big like that will have an internal skeleton too, because it's got good and sturdy. Yeah.
And how do you choose what insects, beetles, will translate well into art, and how do you, what inspires you about it? Like, how do you do your research? Where do you find your inspiration?
I obviously Google is very, very helpful when it comes to anything from just randomly throwing out a color and adding longhorn beetle or this type of beetle. But I also have some great books that are just fun to flip through once in a while and go, I gotta try that. And then maybe you would look at that beetle and go, that's really cool, but instead of making it black, let's make it pink, because why not?
Right. Yeah.
It's just,
that's when you get to add your creative spin on the insect. Yeah. So, no, the art is so striking and so beautiful. Like, the colors stand out and the shapes. And for someone new to this kind of art, how do you introduce them? How do you kind of get them excited about what you're doing? Because they're really unique pieces.
Well, in truth, I don't. My clientele, I don't try to excite anybody about it. If they're weirded out by it, I just let that be their reaction to it. If they like it and they want to talk to me about it, then great. But the last thing I ever do is try to get anybody excited about it. So what I try to do to get anybody excited about it is put my interest and try to I'm always trying to one up the last piece that I made. If I made the same species, I'm like, ooh, what could I do differently next time to improve it just slightly? What would I do? Even though I might be completely happy with that piece. So my clientele could be anywhere from 5 to 90 years old. And if they come in and go, oh wow, then I'm just there to answer their questions. And then they might be asking the exact same questions you, like, oh wow, why'd you make this one or this, that,
right.
And they're into it. And at the other side of the pedestal is the oh my god, why would anybody make this?
Yeah. And I guess I want to just dive right into your relationship with your art. And I'm really curious, kind of, what inspired you to be an artist, to start creating? It was like a catalyst or an event in life that kind of created your interest there.
Yeah, I'd probably say catalyst. As much as other things happened that gave me an opportunity to try something. A catalyst. I had a buddy that I lived with in Whistler, Adrian Ferrazzuti. He's an awesome furniture maker now, but his creativity was kind of contagious,
right.
I would say. I made a very simple version of a dragonfly a long time ago, but then that shifted when somebody gave me I don't even know why another friend gave me this. He gave me a beetle book.
Oh, okay.
And that beetle book probably hung around for a couple of years where I was flipping through one day and went, huh, and made my first little beetle. And then it was crude into what I'm doing now, but somebody came in and scooped it up. And I was like, oh, that was fun to make. I'll make another.
Yeah.
And then that just kind of rolled and evolved till eventually coming to Salt Spring.
Did you ever question that path? Did you ever question that inner knowing that you wanted to create?
I probably just always had just enough success
right.
to keep going. But the fact that I've been fortunate enough to be able to sell things, I look at that as being kind of allowed to carry on, to go, okay, let's try this now, let's try that. And, and someone's like, oh, why don't you just do butterflies? Because the world loves butterflies more than beetles. And I'm like, I'll do butterflies too, but I like beetles.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it's a big enough world out there.
Your art is beautiful, and obviously it's been acknowledged. You've been, accepted into many shows and continue to be. So,
Thanks.
You've got an audience that loves what you do.
Yeah, it's fun. I feel very lucky. I feel very fortunate, for sure, that I get to do what I'm doing, and
And your partner, her name's Nicole, and she is an artist that makes clothing, right?
Wearing one right now.
It's a beautiful hoodie. I love it.
All upcycled.
I want to acknowledge you as an artist surviving with his craft, providing the world with beautiful colors. You're a dad.
Yeah, thanks,
You're
man.
a Salt Spring Island resident. You're my neighbor. You're a paddleboarding buddy.
Yes.
Playing all these roles, man.
Thanks for doing this with me.
I'm just really appreciative of the conversation, and I just think you are an established artist that can inspire this community and provide a really positive story as to what following your passion can lead to. And I just think more people need to hear that story. One last question.
Sure.
What does Salt Spring life mean to you?
I think just at this moment anyways, I guess it's just, everything's just an opportunity, right? But I think Salt Spring life is an opportunity for me anyways to have a very healthy balance in all the things, all of what I think are good in life and good for me. And that opportunity is there. I have to, for myself, make sure I take those opportunities, because I've been ebbed and flowed of working too much sometimes, or this or that, or stressing about this. But I think Salt Spring life is, as I said down at the beach, healthy living. But that it provides that opportunity to have that healthy balance of good living.
That's right.
Yeah.
Where else could we be? Down at the beach in 5 minutes, back in your studio, in the forest.
It's not bad.
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I'm thrilled to be your neighbor, man. I appreciate the time today. Really enjoyed learning more about your art.
All right, well, let's go paddleboarding again soon.
100%.